Hi, I'm Ulrik. I'm the CEO of a small microbrewery. You can even call it a nano brewery out of Denmark in Copenhagen. And I'm here to help you actually solve one of my problems. So the thing is that as a new microbrewery, you're always trying to get new products to market and figure out something fun to do. And we figured out that there was a study done by a psychology professor out of Chicago in 2011, where Professor Wiley showed that people who were slightly drunk actually performed better on various problem-solving tasks compared to sober peers. We thought, as a brewery, that was good news for us, so we took the study and we took some of the implications from the study. Partly that the optimum point for solving problems, according to Dr. Wiley and her control group study, was 0.075 alcohol blood volume. So if you need a comparison to figure out what that is sort of half a bottle of wine if you're sort of an average-sized person, or this size bottle of beer. So the implication was that get drunk, problem solved, so we created the problem solver beer. The idea for us was to create a beer that in its sort of volume, liquid volume, and its alcohol content, it has a 7.1% alcohol beer. It would be sort of enough for a person, sort of a man of average size, whatever that was. It's sort of 185 pounds, something like that, to get to that creative peak of 0.075%. And to help people along to figure out how that works, we created a little scale on the side of the bottle here. So I'm sorry, it's a European product at the moment, so it's in kilos, but basically it says that if you're around 185 pounds, like I am, you should drink the whole bottle. And if you're 90 pounds, you should only drink half of it. And there is a different scale for women for different physiological reasons. So we created this beer, and for us it was mostly it was a fun way to pack a good IPA. Instead of just having another IPA on the shelf, we thought, okay, we're going to pack an IPA into a concept where it fits into a situation, where people will drink it as part of a social activity that they're already doing, and here it fits in. So it was a gimmick, and we launched it on around December 20th, and then around December 23rd, it was picked up by Fast Company, Huffington Post, Fox News, Daily Telegraph, Independent, Medical Daily, and so on. It got to the famous 1 million Facebook likes. And we had our phone ringing off the hook, and we got contacted by distributors in these countries: Brazil, Russia, China, Singapore, France, Spain, and so on. The problem is, as I told you in the beginning, that we are a nano brewery. We brew these by hand, every one of them. 1,000 bottles for us is a lot. And we were being asked, so what kind of price discount can you give us if we buy 25 pallets a month? And it was like, none, because we can't produce 25 pallets a month. So our problem is one where we have a demand that vastly outsizes the supply that we're able to create here. So part of the use cases that we came out with, I think I got 600 emails from just ordinary consumers around the world, and 400 of those were from the US, partly because, as you can see, a lot of the news coverage that we got were from the US. It was Huffington Post, it was Medical Daily, it was Food and Wine, all these places. So we think, okay, US could be a good market for this. We want to go here anyways with the brewery we have. We can talk more about why that is good. But we need a partner to do it. Either we need some kind of financing to actually build our own capacity to be able to make our supply side a little larger, or we need some kind of collaboration where we borrow somebody else's brewing capacity, or we're even open to some kind of licensing agreement. And basically, we're all open for business. We think that we have had the famous orange in the turban, something dropped in our lab with an opportunity. We're not quite grown up enough to catch it properly. So if anyone out there has any kind of ideas, opportunities, connections, or other suggestions for how we can actually capitalize on this, we're very happy to share it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, guys, we're in the home stretch. Could you talk a little bit about the beer itself? What is different about your beer?
So, how many in here actually had the beer? All right, raise of hands, sort of 30, 40 people. Was it a good beer? Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Would have been very embarrassing. It was like, so it's an IPA. It's brewed on a lot of American hops. We did send 500,000 bottles into the market. It got rated on Untappd and Rate Beer and all these things. It got good ratings, actually plenty good ratings. It is finished up with a Brettanomyces yeast, which is sort of a wild fermentation yeast. It dries out the beer. It makes it, if you smell it, you can smell a lot of floral aromas and other things, which makes it really appealing. I think compared to a lot of other IPAs, which can turn very bitter and very sort of aggressive, this is a little more crisp and smooth, which also makes it a little more palatable for women. But the beer itself isn't anything that you can't find in another top 50 IPA out there in the market. It's just a good IPA, and we can sort of stand for that. So that's the beer itself.
How many people do you have working on marketing? Because in the end, it's just a beer, like you have a million. And
so I'm working on marketing, and I'm good at it. No, we made it in a collaboration with an advertising agency called Crispin Porter and Bugosky, who are sort of established in the US, and they have a little Copenhagen office which needed a project on their own, and so they took it on pro bono for us. So they have made a lot of the branding, and all of the ugly slides are me, and all of the cool slides are them, basically. But they are not going to invest that much more into it. They have created sort of case studies for how cool they are as an advertising agency and other things to show how it works. But we don't have a lot of, the whole problem is we don't have a lot of budget either to produce it, to take it to market, to advertise it, to promote it, to do other things. We are this big, but it's going fine, and we have a good range of other beers which are perfect, and we're bootstrapping sort of the core business on its own well. So it's more to fast track this as a product on its own.
With all that success right from the start, I'm surprised you haven't been approached with financing at this point, or have you, and why didn't you take those offers?
So we did get some different versions of sort of financing offers. Right now, I am sort of financing the core brewery. I've started up different things before, mostly in commercial real estate, and sold that. So the core capacity is me right now. We are willing to take on new offers at this point, but I think it depends on what the given investor would want. Do they want this, or do they want sort of the entire range and the brewery and all the sort of philosophy that goes into that? And if they're only interested in this, we might as well do a licensing agreement or a collaboration around it. So it's a matter of matching, what you want to do. But no, we haven't been swarmed with a lot of these things. What we have been swarmed with are orders, mostly. And because of the bank financing situation in Denmark, we can't take a stack of orders to the bank and say, give us financing. They won't do it. So we thought, okay, then Miles called and said, do you want to come to San Francisco and pitch it through a room full of intelligent people? And I said, yeah, sure, let's do that. And so I'm here to find them.
Good plan.
Hi, I think it's great marketing, but I'm curious if you're at all concerned about any negative impact on that the legal blood level for sobriety is 0.08, and you're marketing a product that if you drink a bottle is 0.75, and you're calling it the problem solver. Have you guys thought that one through?
Yeah, so if the bottle reads that drinking one bottle will enhance your creativity, drinking more will likely do the exact opposite. So we're sort of hinting it already. And I think this is sort of a valid point with all alcohol. And in essence, you maybe shouldn't drink at all. But given that you do drink, we like to think that you would like to drink quality and also that you might want to have some fun doing it. So yes, it is of course something. We are also not through any FDA loops with this. They might, throw a fit, and of course we're not asking anyone to put up real money before that is resolved. So anyone can approach me sort of knowing that we're going to go through that before anything gets realized. But thank you for raising it. There was another question here.
Have you looked into factoring here? I know, for example, as a small business person, there are now, through some of my invoicing programs, et cetera, I can take a stack of services that I've already pre-sold and have those financed in advance. Square is doing a lot of interesting stuff. There's NerdWallet. There are all sorts of different alternative financing where you could possibly take that stack of orders and turn it into financing for you.
The factoring companies in Denmark and in Europe are not working with orders. Usually, they're only working with invoices. You can't use pro forma invoices, and also we're a little too small. We're falling under. So even though we would have, basically, you can't factor anything that's under $1.5 million in Denmark with the company structures they have, because they don't have the volume to do the small ones without the proper sort of risk management. So we don't have the luxury of a big US market with all the sort of services that are available to entrepreneurs here. So we're trying to figure out how to do it, and at this point we would like to explore if there's a partner that could help us do it. And as I said, we're very aware that we will have to sort of share the benefit that comes out of the project, and we're ready to do that.
All right. Problem solver beer.
Woo. And there are 2 bottles left, and if anybody wants to taste it.